It's Tuesday morning. I'm taking the train to work. It's rainy, it's cold, and my lower back hurts from carrying around all this camera equipment. So I'm gonna take the train in. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck like the F train did last night. Those poor people. No lights, no AC for an hour. All right, I'll see you at work.
Everybody's at the record house, rocking at the record house. Rocking at the record house, baby, baby. Rocking at the record house, rocking at the record house.
Since I'm not biking in, I'm gonna get some good coffee and breakfast before I head to work. A revelation. Greatest coffee in the city, in my opinion. And they have the great coffee cup lids that if you just sip out of them, your nose fits in, and also the whatever coffee's left over just goes back into the cup. Fantastic. I know I'm not supposed to be eating an almond croissant, but I just couldn't resist. I haven't had one in about 4 or 5 weeks, so I'm doing all right. Coffee, breakfast, let's get to work. We all, find people that inspire us, and we want to do what they're doing exactly because it looks like they have a formula. But part of that whole process is finding that inspiration and then replicating it, but in your style, in your fashion, in what you think, and how you go about executing the video or the photo or the illustration, stuff like that. Finding inspiration is actually quite easy. If you look around, if you look on Instagram and you look for great photography, there's great photography taken on an iPhone on Instagram. It's amazing work. If you look for video effects or video editing, there's amazing artists and amazing people doing work out there. And sometimes that's a daunting task. Sometimes you come to this blockade and you feel like, well, what am I going to do that's unique? What am I going to bring to the table? What things that I can do that hasn't been done before? Everything has been done before. It's difficult to compete in a market as broad as the visual creative field. Every word has ever been written. Every song has ever been sung. Every painting has been painted. Every video has been made. But that's not true. It's not true. There's always a unique perspective. You see, what's up to me is to tell my story, my perspective on how things are, how my life is created, how my day goes, how I deal with problems, and not worry about what everybody else is doing. Everybody's doing something, and that doesn't make that my thing any less important than their thing. And not everything you do has to be the greatest thing ever done. We're all growing, so this video will be better than the next video. Sometimes the next video will be worse than the next video. It's just the nature of human life, right? We have our ups and downs, but we always keep going. But to not start and not do just because someone else has done it before, or someone else has, done this better than you can, how are you gonna learn? So it's always about that. That's why I'm learning all these new techniques for this image. You gotta learn how to create some effects. I'm not gonna be the best person at it, but I'm sure we'll be able to accomplish the task at hand. So that's about it. I went to go get some coffee. Got a lot more work just came in, so I'm gonna get back to the office. So it's Tuesday night. It's been a pretty productive day. Got a lot of projects worked on and all that stuff. Did a bunch of experimenting, so hopefully I will be prepared. That job has, the number of images has changed again, which is good. It's actually gone down, so it'll give us some time to be more creative. I am going to head home. It looks like it's not gonna rain anymore, but I'm taking the train anyway. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.